Hello folks, this is Sunday morning, the 10th of November, and we'll just have an update on the stock market, what's going off. We'll start with the German DAX. This is the weekly chart. We looked at this last week. We were thinking that 13,100 would be a key area, but you can see it's carrying on a little bit higher. However, the patterns are still valid, what we're looking at here. So first take a look at it and just see where we are. If we take the retracement first of all, this is, as you see, we've taken out the 786 quite comfortably, and it looks like we're heading up towards. It looks like for all money it wants to complete the ABCD. It's actually done it's taken out the 88.6 as well. That's a key level we sometimes look at, and as you can see, it's closed above that. Let's move the label out of the way. And as you can see, it's already taken that out. What's interesting, there's a couple of interesting things this week. The butterfly is still valid from this point, X, A, B, C, D. There's a couple of things. First of all, if you take the high to the low, from this point here, this is your A, B, C, D. From this point down to, from point C to point D is 3 weeks. From the high, 1, 2, 3 weeks down. From point C to point D is 5 weeks up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a 3, 5, 8 symmetrical triangle, Fibonacci symmetrical triangle on a weekly chart. So very often when you see a 3, 5, 8 or an 8, 5, 13, that any Fibonacci formation is often a good point to look for a reversal. There's also an interesting mathematical relationship between these two ABCDs. I've put the first one in. This is the ABCD off the butterfly. That's ABCD, as you can see. Now you can see that the CD leg has extended AB. That would be 100%, and it's extended AB. So I'll just put in the extension. There's a Fibonacci extension below 1.27. If I can get it to come up. It's 1.189. So if we type that in, and there she comes, she's at the 1.189 spot on. Now if we think the market is heading higher, longer term, because we think it's going to complete this ABCD from here, so from the low to the high, that one comes in up here. But this one, obviously it's not reached 100%, it's actually reached 84.1 if we type that in for this one. It's not reached 100% of the AB swing, but it's reached 84.1 of it. I'll show you why that might be significant in a minute. 84.1, that comes in right in this same zone. We're in a few pips. Now then, so I'll find the old calculator, the mathematical formula here. Let's have a look. Calculator, there we go. Now then, 1.189, the ABC, we'll put that in the memory. 1.189, 1.189. Put that in the memory. Okay. Now this swing is 84.1 of the BC swing. Now if we take the reciprocal of 84.1, so 0.841, 1 over 0.841 equals 1.189. So there is a mathematical relationship between these two swings. From this ABCD times 841 comes in right there. The smaller AB swing times 1.189 comes in there. So there's two things telling us this is a possible area where we could have a little pullback. And then of course we've got the 358 symmetrical triangle, which I mentioned earlier. And then if I have a look at some time cycles, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here. Look at these time cycles. So put the cycles tool on. And if we go from the high to the high, from this high, which is X of your butterfly pattern, to that high there, that cycle comes in 2 weeks' time. Now, is it going to carry on up into that cycle high or not? Now, if we take the cycle lows as well, have a look at those. Here's your cycle lows. So from the low to the low, that comes in exactly the same week. So we've got, in 2 weeks' time, we've got two cycles coming together. The question is it going to be a high or a low? Well, what we've just seen with everything else, I think if we start down this week, we're going to come down and make some sort of a low on the weekend in the 22nd. Now, because this is a weekly chart, the low could come any day that week. A nice pullback, 382 pullback, what we looked at last week. That would come in. Let's have a look at it. That would come in somewhere round about there. That'll come in around about 12,750 area. So that'll be a nice pullback of about 500 points. Couple of weeks. That'd be quite bullish actually, because that would set up another A, B, C, D. Also form a 1, 3, 5 of higher lows pattern as well. So that'd be a good area to take a look at it from the long side if it was to do that. The other option, of course, is we just blast up higher for the next 2 weeks, and then could even complete this A, B, C, D. If we just pan out again, we could probably complete this A, B, C, D. We'll just have to bring the double top in. That'll bring the double topping up here, so we could power up for the next 2 weeks and complete this double top round about 13,600. So that's what I'm seeing in the DAX. Now, if we're going to have a look at the Dow, we'll see a very interesting picture on the Dow as well. Just bring the Dow Jones up. If we look at the daily chart of the Dow, we can see that we've completed this A, B, C, D. Just zoom in a little bit on this. There's also a butterfly pattern there from this high over here. X, A, B, C, D. If we just put the A, B, C, D in first, you'll see it comes about, I'll take it from this low over here. I think this is the one it comes in just about perfect, absolutely spot on. You'll also see that the 1.27 of the BC swing comes in right where it should. And we just measure that. You see 1.27, it hit it spot on Friday. So that is absolutely perfect. There's another ABCD swing here, which I don't think it's quite completed, that one. It's another one where the BC swing is shorter, but the bigger one, it'll probably be the boss on this occasion. We've also got this little pattern here. We've got the nice wide-ranging bullish candle and a little small bearish candle. That's what's called a harami pattern in a candlestick formation. It's called a harami. Quite a strong reversal candle is that. When you see one of these little candles completing with a bigger pattern, that's quite a good one to keep an eye on. So that's patterns have completed on there. We'll have a quick look at the S&Ps while we're on. Bring the S&Ps up. I think it was the weekly chart of the S&Ps we had. This 3 drives to a top. Now that's nearly completed. It's 1.27. We're looking at, if you remember last week, we were looking at 3,100 on the S&Ps. Well, you can see now this 3 drives pattern, what we looked at, is just about complete. It's not quite drawn it in the right place there, have we? Drive 1, drive 2, drive 3. Let's see if we can draw it in. The high to the low. And that comes in just about spot on. That again is your 1.27 off the last swing. There's your 3 drives to a top. You've also got your 5-point expanding reverse wave coming in. Another A, B, C, D. So there's a lot of things telling us. And again, we've got another 3, 5, 8 symmetrical triangle coming in on the S&Ps. 1, 2, 3 weeks down, 5 weeks up. I'll show you 3, 5, 8 symmetrical triangle. Your 3 drives, your expanding reverse wave. So next week we should see some sort of a pullback, I would guess. Whether we pull back again, just the 382 off of this would be my guess. That'll bring it in back below 3,000 again. Just suck the bears in, a few bears in, and then it'll probably power off to new highs again. Who knows? But so keep a close eye on these stock markets next week, folks. That's what I'm seeing in the three main markets. The FTSE is sort of like lagging a bit, as you can expect. The FTSE is sort of like just in a sideways range. It is progressing, as you might say, but it's nowhere near any highs. It's just sort of gone into this bit of a range, completed a bit of an ABCD. It's this 61% retracement off the high that we made at the beginning of August seems to be broke through it once and it's come back next. It's trying, but at the moment, a lot of uncertainty, obviously, with the FTSE. So, okay, folks, so enjoy the rest of your weekend, and that's what I'm seeing in the stock market. So take care and good luck with your trading.